Take a close look. The familiar blue and yellow harp, the sleek fuselage cutting through the sky. For millions across Europe, this is the unmistakable sight of a Ryanair Boeing 737, the workhorse of budget air travel. It's a symbol of cheap flights and a revolution in how we travel, but look closer. Something here is different. This isn't just another plane being added to their massive fleet. In fact, what you're looking at isn't a Boeing at all. What you're looking at isn't a Ryanair Boeing 737. It's what the future could look like if Ryanair orders and starts to operate the Comac C919. This is China's ambitious, state-funded answer to the giants of aviation. It's a single-aisle jetliner designed and built in Shanghai, representing a monumental push by Beijing to shatter the long-standing duopoly held by America's Boeing and Europe's Airbus. For years, it was a distant project. Now it's a reality. And in a move that has sent shockwaves through the industry, it's being seriously considered by the most unlikely of customers, Ryanair. Europe's largest budget airline is eyeing up China's Comac C919. Let's be clear about the sheer scale of this. Ryanair isn't just any airline, it's a continent-spanning behemoth. With a fleet of nearly 600 aircraft flying to over 230 destinations, they carry more international passengers than any other airline on the planet. Their entire business model, their very identity, their legendary cost efficiency, has been meticulously built around one single family of aircraft for decades. That aircraft is the Boeing 737. For over 2 decades, Ryanair has been one of Boeing's most loyal and significant customers, operating an all-Boeing fleet that has been the airline's backbone. This exclusive partnership has been symbiotic, allowing Ryanair to streamline maintenance, pilot training, and ground operations to an almost fanatical degree of efficiency. This standardization is a cornerstone of their low-cost model, so the idea of them even looking at another manufacturer is significant. But looking at a brand new, unproven aircraft from a new player like China, that's revolutionary. It's a direct competitor to the Boeing 737s that have been Ryanair's lifeblood. This brings us to the man at the center of this storm, Ryanair's outspoken and often controversial CEO, Michael O'Leary. A master of publicity and a notoriously tough negotiator, O'Leary has a long history of playing hardball with his suppliers. He is famous for his blunt, headline-grabbing statements and for pitting the world's biggest manufacturers against each other to drive down prices. So, is this the beginning of China's aviation takeover in Europe? A genuine interest in a new aircraft that could reshape the continent's skies? Or is it just another one of Michael's infamous negotiation tactics? The ultimate power play designed to squeeze Boeing for an unprecedented deal on their next massive order of 737s. The question on everyone's mind is simple. Is O'Leary serious, or is he just being O'Leary? The answer might surprise you, and it matters more than you think. This isn't just about one airline's fleet or a corporate tug-of-war. It's about the future of global aviation manufacturing, the balance of economic power between West and East, and the structure of the low-cost travel market that millions of us depend on. The ripple effects of this decision could influence everything from international trade relations to the rigorous safety standards that govern our skies. Let me put it this way. The future of budget air travel and your ticket prices could depend on what happens next. The ultra-low fares that are a staple of European travel are a direct result of the fierce competition and extreme operational efficiency that Ryanair has perfected. Any major disruption to that finely tuned model could have a direct and lasting impact on your wallet. Before we dive into this aviation chess game, let's understand what makes Ryanair such a powerhouse. To truly understand what's at stake, we first need to peel back the layers of the airline at its heart. We need to understand the ruthless, brilliant, and often criticized business model that turned a tiny Irish airline into a continental titan. How did they build an empire on the back of a single aircraft type? And why would they even consider risking it all on an unproven newcomer from the East? When you think of budget air travel in Europe, Ryanair is the undisputed king. With a fleet of over 600 aircraft, they fly more international passengers than any other airline on the planet. We're talking over 180 million people a year, shuttled between more than 230 airports across 37 countries. Their signature blue and yellow harp has become a ubiquitous symbol of accessible, no-frills travel, a common sight from the chilly runways of Scandinavia to the sun-drenched islands of the Mediterranean. But to truly grasp their dominance, you have to rewind the clock. Before Ryanair, European skies were ruled by legacy flag carriers. Flying was a luxury, an expensive and often formal affair, with prices dictated by national monopolies. A weekend trip from London to Rome might have cost a week's wages, putting it far out of reach for the average person. Then in the 1990s, the European Union deregulated the airline industry, and a brash Irish airline saw its opening. Led by the famously outspoken Michael O'Leary, Ryanair didn't just enter the market, it blew it wide open, armed with a revolutionary low-cost model that would permanently alter the continent's travel landscape. Suddenly, those weekend trips to Barcelona or Rome that once seemed extravagant became commonplace. University students could explore new cultures on a shoestring budget. Families could afford sunny getaways. Ryanair didn't just lower prices, it fundamentally changed European travel culture, creating the city break phenomenon as we know it today. It democratized the sky. But here's the thing, Ryanair's success isn't magic, it's a masterclass in ruthless efficiency. Their strategy is a finely tuned engine designed for one thing and one thing only, keeping costs brutally low. It starts with where they fly. Instead of landing at major congested hubs like Paris-Charles de Gaulle, they'll often opt for smaller secondary airports like Paris-Beauvais, sometimes located miles outside the city centre. Why? The landing fees are a fraction of the cost and there's less air traffic, which brings us to their next obsession, speed. Ryanair aims for a turnaround time of just 25 minutes. That's the time from the aircraft arriving at the gate to it pushing back for its next flight. In that window, passengers disembark, the cabin is cleaned, the plane is refueled, and a new load of passengers gets on board. In the airline industry, a plane on the ground is a plane losing money. Ryanair's pit stop approach ensures their multi-million-dollar assets are in the air, generating revenue for as many hours as possible each day. And then there's the ticket price itself. That famously low fare is just the beginning. It gets you a seat, and that's about it. This is the art of unbundling. Want to choose your seat? That's extra. Want to bring more than a small backpack? You'll pay for that. Priority boarding? Open your wallet. Even a bottle of water on board comes at a premium. This ancillary revenue is a cornerstone of their model, allowing them to advertise jaw-droppingly low initial prices while making substantial profits on the extras. The result? Ticket prices that sometimes cost less than your taxi to the airport. And at the very heart of this entire low-cost orchestra is a single crucial instrument, their fleet of Boeing 737s. This isn't a coincidence. It's a calculated strategic decision known as fleet commonality. Think about it. When every single aircraft in your vast fleet is essentially identical, the operational complexity plummets. Your maintenance hangars only need to stock parts for one type of plane. Your mechanics become hyper-specialized experts on the 737, reducing repair times and costs. Your pilots are all rated for the same cockpit, meaning any pilot can fly any plane in the fleet, simplifying scheduling to an incredible degree. Even the way your cabin crew operate, from safety demonstrations to in-flight service, is completely standardized. It's an industrial-scale assembly line in the sky, built on a long-standing and deeply strategic relationship with Boeing. Ryanair is one of Boeing's biggest customers, and their massive bulk orders give them immense negotiating power, allowing them to acquire aircraft at prices far below the public list price. For decades, the workhorse was the Boeing 737-800, but now a new chapter is being written. Currently, about a third of Ryanair's fleet consists of Boeing's newer 737 MAX 8200 variant, an aircraft they've aptly nicknamed the Game Changer. And that name is no exaggeration. This specific model was developed in close cooperation with Ryanair to push their low-cost model even further. While a standard 737 MAX 8 seats around 178 passengers, Ryanair's version, thanks to a modified cabin layout with slimmer seats and an extra set of emergency exit doors, packs in 197 passengers. Those extra 19 seats are almost pure profit on every single flight. But the benefits don't stop there. These planes are significantly more fuel efficient. Compared to the older 737-800S they are replacing, the MAX consumes around 16% less fuel. With fuel being one of the largest and most volatile expenses for any airline, a 16% saving across hundreds of aircraft is a monumental financial advantage. It allows Ryanair to absorb fuel price shocks and keep its fares lower than competitors. Furthermore, the new engines and improved aerodynamics reduce the aircraft's noise footprint footprint by an impressive 40%. This isn't just a win for residents living near airports. It's a strategic advantage, allowing Ryanair to operate with fewer restrictions at noise-sensitive airports and potentially lower operational fees. For Ryanair, the game changer is the perfect evolution of their strategy. More seats, less fuel, less noise. It's the ultimate tool for their relentless pursuit of efficiency.